Welcome, everyone. I'm super stoked, super happy to have my friend Zachary Sweet on the YouTube channel for my art maker series with Oakland Creates. Welcome, Zach. I'm so happy that you are cool to down to be interviewed. I'm going to start sharing my screen and then you can talk a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Right.
Let's see, can you see it here?
Yep.
All right, sweet. So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Zachary Sweet, Oakland-based animator, illustrator, educator. I love painting and animating and supporting my community as much as possible. I have a studio here in Oakland, California. I'm with Helvella Studios
Nice.
in the Fruitvale area. I love it. Great community. Um, but yeah, I
Sweet.
also love horror movies, and I also do design for horror movies.
Awesome. So let's jump into some of your paintings. I always love like my stuff is so straightforward and yours is so innovative with the animation. Can you talk a little bit about um, why you decided to kind of incorporate the more realistic style, but then you have these little hints of hidden creatures or monsters. They're so cool. And you have once you look at it and like, oh, I'm finding new things every time I look at it. Talk a little bit about that element to your paintings.
I think primarily the obsession with that, or the combination of that, came from right right around the time I started going to school for animation, because I've always loved painting and portraits and realism and stuff like that. And I thought I was attributed that to, that's the skill, that's the obtainable skill point that every artist should try to get to or whatever. But I loved making cartoons and zany stuff and weird stuff. So this is
That's
my effort trying to combine both and play within those worlds, I guess.
right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, because I know we both have a love of horror, gore, and just anything creepy and weird. Talk a little bit too about your merch. I really love that you have the t-shirts and the enamel pins. What kind
Yeah.
of made you move over to transition into selling that kind of stuff?
Well, before I studied animation, I wanted to be a special effects makeup artist. One of my first jobs when I was a kid was doing special effects makeup for Fright Fest during Halloween,
Oh
and
wow,
Halloween has always been a favorite time of year for me. So I would always practice my zombie makeup and things like that on people's faces.
cool.
And what I would do often was I'd find myself like making uh like little experiments, inviting friends over and just zombifying them. And then when I studied animation, I've always still wanted to, like, make horror stuff. So 2016, me and a good friend of mine, Malachi, we decided to make horror merch. And it started off with a couple of pins. And next thing you know, we're collaborating with a ton of like uh, actors from horror movies. We're making license pins. We've worked our Fuzz on the Lens Productions, the people that did Terrifier, uh,
Wow.
and we've worked with Candyman. It's just, yeah, got a ton of them, and I think it's just starting to build up, and it's
Is
kind
that
of,
Dimension Studios?
pardon.
Is that Dimension Studios?
Fuzz on
Candyman?
the Lens Productions does the Terrifier.
But Candyman is what? Is that
Yeah,
Dimension?
I think that's separate. We worked with the actor specifically. So
Ah, okay.
um but
So
what
with
else?
Tony Todd.
Yeah, Tony Todd and
Rest in peace, Tony
I
Todd.
know the best. Top 10. I love him.
For
Gosh, he was so
sure.
kind. He was like, whenever we'd be at conventions and stuff, he'd be one of those few actors that kind of were just super geeked on our stuff.
Yeah, I love when you meet people and they really do kind of uphold the status that you have for them. I think uh he just seems super down to earth, so I'm glad to hear that. I mean,
Yeah.
got to meet Dee Wallace from
Cool.
Cujo and all that, and I was just one of
Oh
those
man.
situations where you don't know what to say, so you're super quiet and you're just like inside, you're screaming and you're like trying to
Yeah.
be cool, you know. But she was so sweet, and she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I love your work," and da 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 da. I'm just like eating it all up, you know.
Yes. That's how I think most horror movie actors, they're just the sweetest people on earth, along with the community. They're all
Yeah,
everyone that's into blood and guts and scary stuff. You meet them in person, you're like, oh, this is the sweetest person I've ever met in my life.
right.
Yeah.
Talk a
I think
little bit about your zines, because I know we both do zine fest and stuff. And
yeah.
I love like because I like weird, trippy stuff like the booties and gag jokes. Talk a little bit about your zines.
For sure, the Scatterbrain series, the green and the blue one, I've done three of those, and those were kind of a sketchbook compilation or illustration compilation.
Hmm,
Um, I think the whole Scatterbrain thing just comes from having ADHD and just wanting to draw everything. But what's fun about the background of those ones, that's a shot of this box I have called the memory box, and it's just a collection of small trinkets of like pivotal moments in my life that I
wow.
have memories with. And when I see that object, I can just tell the story that's behind it. Whether it be like, you know, my tree house or a small like a dice from a slumber party or like my first camping trip, things like that. But the Scatterbrain series is just a compilation of drawings from a year. And then I did those over and over again I released them once a year. I did three
Okay,
of them. Um, and I just did like a reorder for some of them.
okay.
So this is like the second edition of them. But yeah, number three sold out, and I'm not going to be reprinting that one, I think. Um, but most of them in the cuts, that one is from a solo show I did, solo art show I did in like 2015 or something. It was just an art show, and um, I just had a collection of illustrations that were from that series.
So do you
Uh,
feel like the putting the zine like artwork together in a zine is like the most efficient way to share your work with the community? Because not everyone can afford a big painting, or not
mm,
everybody can come out to a festival. You think that is a good way to communicate?
Yeah, for sure. It also gives you opportunity to talk a little bit about the work too. I mean, most of my stuff is just image based in the zine, but um, yeah, not everybody's going to be able to afford a $500 painting of mine or something like that. So you can pick up a $10 zine and have at least a little smaller photo of it, as well as some other ones, maybe the backstory.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh yeah, Wonderful World of Butts. My friend just said, "Oh, you draw a lot of butts," and so I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna make a scene about it.
Nothing wrong with that. Little booty
Yeah,
over
exactly. It
there.
cracks me up. Everybody's gonna,
Oh, come on.
oh yeah, no pun intended. Sorry.
So this is obviously the studio. This is the studio you're in right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
We're gonna have to do a studio tour. I just didn't have the energy this today
Yeah,
or this weekend to do it. But I definitely want to come check it out. It looks
yeah,
amazing.
right
I haven't
on.
had it outside of my house studio in a couple years, so I would love to be in that space. It's such a wonderful thing to have, just so
Yeah,
you can be creative and leave your stuff out and don't have to worry about cleaning up. It's just so awesome.
yeah, yeah. It's a little bit of controlled chaos. It looks different right now. I've got
Right.
some more stuff. Definitely more screens, but
Ah,
I have my Cintiq here. Uh, Mainly do my animation stuff on that. But
sweet.
it's great because we have a gallery right here, right next to it, and so we
Okay, let
have
me stop sharing my screen so that we can see where you're talking about. So yeah, it does look a little different.
yeah, I've got some work in progress stuff, but yeah, right next door not next door, but in the other room, you know,
Ah, okay.
behind that wall there, we've got we've got a gallery. We do group exhibitions and a lot of the people in the studio exhibit in there as well.
How many are there of you guys?
Geez, if we roll deep here, we've got um let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I want to say like 20 people
Sheesh.
altogether. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's deep for sure. That's nice though.
I mean, I'm happy to I can lift up my laptop and bring it. You want to go on a little quick little
Of
tour?
course, let's do
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'm down.
Let me unplug this and this. Okay, make sure you're still there.
I'm there.
Or okay. Oh, first off, let me show off some of these things here. Hey,
So your toy
hey.
collection. All
Yeah,
right.
I love Japanese safubi. Okay. All right. So, and I don't know everybody's name, so I'm just gonna show you.
Yeah.
Okay. Got some drive-by.
Nice.
This dude, this guy rules, David. He's
Okay.
doing graphic novel right now. Look at this. Oh,
Ooh,
oh,
oh, nice.
look at that.
Badass.
This, one of my favorite animators in the Bay. Look at that. Look at that setup. Isn't that sick? Oh,
That's
yeah.
sick.
Oh, we actually have 2 spaces available. So if anybody's interested in joining the community, come to hellvella.art. Yeah, look at this big old window.
Nice.
But I'm gonna go over here. Sorry, I'm all bringing the laptop. I know we'd have like a camera and make it official, and then say hi to these folks. These are
Hey.
the fellow artists. They're just drinking coffee,
Nice.
and then this is the gallery here.
Beautiful.
Oh,
The
this is my view.
crowd goes
Folks
wild.
looking at me all weird.
Oh no.
Okay, that's
Nice.
mine.
Oh, nice.
It animates too, but
Oh, for sure. We definitely have to come back and
yeah,
then we can check out the animation on your
cool.
page.
Yeah, I'll save this side for when you come in person. Ooh.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, and we got fridges.
Of course. Alcohol.
Is there?
No, I'm just yelling it out like
No.
a fool.
There's like soju though. Oh, I'm telling.
Oh,
Oh, dude. Boom. What do you know about those?
not a thing.
Crustals. Yeah, I just have a ton of energy drinks in there.
Oh my God, I'm trying to cut back on caffeine. It is so hard.
Yeah, I've been doing the yerba. Oh, here goes have you seen Weapons
I
yet?
did see weapons. That's sick.
Thank you. I made that recently. Oh, one last one.
Oh yeah, the auntie. What's her name?
Linda.
Glenda
Or
Crazy.
Gladys. Sorry, Gladys.
Gladys, whatever her crazy behind is. Oh my God, without the hair, bro. That's sick. But I knew it was Amy Madigan right away.
Really?
Yeah, because she's so
Give
dope.
me
I've
a
seen all of
second.
her other stuff. And I
Yeah,
was
she
like,
is really
oh
good.
my God, that movie was awesome.
Hell yeah, I loved it.
It's one of those ones where you're screaming, but it's such a good scream.
Yeah, first time I've jumped in like 20 years in a
Man, they were
movie.
doing things I did not expect. That's rare too. Like, I don't know if you watch like the little limited series on Netflix right now. I just watched His and Hers with John Bernthal and Tessa Thompson.
Oh, yeah, someone told me to check that out.
Check it out. It's got a twist. It's like I said, it's rare that they trick me and they got me, bro. You gotta watch it and you'll be
Oh, okay,
messed up
I
at the
will.
end. You're gonna be messed up. Like maybe you'll catch it before me, but I love it when I get tricked at the end,
Yeah,
man.
me, me
Yeah.
too. Love that.
Ah. Well, let me jump into some questions.
Okay.
So, first off, where did you grow up? Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Fairfield, California, and then I've lived in Vallejo, San Francisco, Sassoon, and now Oakland. And I've
Wow,
been here for, damn, what is that?
20 plus years.
Yeah, yeah, for a while. No, how
What
long exactly?
So where were your high school days?
Where my high school days, I was in Fairfield, and college days was uh, Vallejo, but also eh, when I was super young too. But yeah, I jumped around the whole Bay Area.
So you went to SFAU or did you go
I
to?
went to the Art Institute, San Francisco,
Okay,
and I got my degree in media arts and animation.
right. Okay, that's what I thought. So did you have like a teacher or mentor, someone early on that inspired you to really take art seriously? Like I was always encouraged by my brothers from super young, 3 and 4 years old. Did you have
Yeah,
anyone in your life that kind of held that beat?
yeah, I've had a ton. But first, definitely have to shout out my grandma.
Nice.
When I would visit her, she would always have like a different art medium on the stairs. And the way her house was, you open up the door and the stairs are right here. And she would have them chilling on the stairs. So it'd be like pastels one day, watercolors another day, a calligraphy set the next day.
Wow.
And I was kind of, you know, my best friend was my imagination when I was younger. So I would spend forever just making art at such a young age. And I remember she framed one of my pictures, and she had this wall that just had family members' artwork on it, right? Paintings that my uncle Ed did, that she did, that my dad did. And it was
Wow.
just this collection. And I remember when I she framed that piece I did based on a dream. She framed it and put it on the wall, and I was so proud. I was like, "Oh crap, this isn't just slapped on a magnet on the refrigerator. This is the big leagues now."
Yeah.
And that was the moment where I was like, "Oh man, I'm an artist." And then
That's such a
now,
blessing though,
yeah,
to
and
get
I've
that
always had that.
encouragement.
Yeah, it's important. That's what I try to instill. Like any kid, it's like rooting for him, man.
Yeah.
Like it takes effort and takes a long time to pick up those skills and stay with them. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. And you could do anything while doing it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's
You know,
just I
my
think the only separation is just somebody telling that a young person that their stuff's valid and
sure.
beautiful, and it's just going to keep getting more rad over the years.
Yeah, my grandmother was huge influence on me. She took me, like I was a little road dog. She took me on the bus to all the museums in San
Wow.
Francisco and food festivals and galleries. I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, like she definitely, instilled that bug to, okay, this is what you can aspire to. Like just watching my, like I said, my brothers drew. They had like a little factory assembly line of making comics, but to actually be taken to the different art spaces around the Bay Area, and my grandmother also like art supplies, which in my grandma's house was like the little leftover paper from her pantyhose and and pencils and markers,
Yeah.
but still she expected me, to want to draw when I came to her house. So yeah, grandmas are the best. Grandmas.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But then I had a I had a high school teacher, well, even my middle school teacher actually, Mr. Clark. Um, I remember he he let me take sculpting supplies home over the summer so I could do stuff.
Oh, nice.
That really meant a lot to me because I noticed he didn't do that for any other kids. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right. But what else? Yeah, high school I had uh Mike Gines. I went to a continuation school in high school because the troubled days, the blood
Stop
for
it.
blood days. No, I'm just kidding. But
Thug
yeah,
life.
he was great. He was a sweetheart. He was all a surfer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he made these beautiful uh oil paintings of waves. And it's
Mm.
just you think, oh yeah, everybody could paint a wave. This dude,
Oh.
oh, it was you're in those waves when you're seeing these. But yeah, and then it just little by little I started building up a lot. I was seeing there was there's always that mentor figure
Yeah.
comes into your life, and I think everybody crosses them, you know, and I'm sure everybody has at least 10 of them, but sometimes you forget or one sticks out stronger than the other. But
Yeah, Eric Fink was my high school
yeah,
art teacher, and he was wild, so zany, and
yeah,
he definitely was the one that encouraged me to go to art school versus just like state, Berkeley, or back then it was UC Hayward or Cal State Hayward or whatever. And he was like, "No, you could go to art school. You could go to CCA." Which, did you hear they're shutting it?
yeah.
So
Oh,
sad.
yeah. Yeah.
So sad. But it's the end of an era, but I'm so glad I got to experience it. And
Yeah.
man, but yeah, there were so many, like you said, so many mentors over the years. Do you feel like, I know this is probably true, that your art has grown as you've grown? Your audience, I mean, has your audience kind of grown with you, you feel like?
Yeah, I think primarily I've, I don't know, regressed into play more,
Mm,
where I think early on I kind of took myself a little too seriously. But now I find myself kind of just first and foremost, if it ain't fun, I ain't doing it.
right.
And I try to experiment with all of my pieces. And I think I think my audience has grown uh, through my animations. Once I started doing more of that, that's where I've got most of my viewership is from my animated gifs.
Mm,
And yeah,
that's what's up. No,
I think
I
it's
feel
the
like we
collective
have to.
goofballs.
I'm,
Yeah, for
go
sure.
ahead.
I think it's just the speaking to the collective goofballs and fellow weirdos.
Yeah. I think they naturally have to evolve, but sometimes we don't see it,
Yeah,
And do you think, if you could give, even to yourself as a younger artist, if you could give a word of advice or encouragement, to a young artist, or to yourself as a young artist, what would you say?
man, I have thought about that so much, you know, as an educator.
Mhm.
um, but a few years back, I kind of realized that, I mean, I would tell myself, I would look myself dead in the eyes and I'd say, just draw, make art, and the rest will follow. Because every opportunity that I've come across and had came from, you know, just years of dedication to it and self-discovery. And I didn't, I try to over complicate things. And if I just focus, you know, primarily on just making art, more rad stuff would have happened earlier, you know?
Mm,
Um, which, yeah, I think it came naturally, and I never kind of forced it, but yeah, those things, you know, instead of being like girl crazy, it could have been just drawing a little more or something, or like, you know, getting into trouble just drawing a little more. But yeah.
that's where all the butts come into play. So do you, so there any other art medium that you think you would like to try that you haven't, maybe acting or singing, or I don't
uh,
know, maybe you do animation and mostly 2D, maybe sculpture, or
yeah, I've
you
done
know,
a lot of sculpture too. I feel like I've done, you know, I consider myself a mixed media artist. So
okay.
whenever I'm making something, it definitely,
So maybe another genre completely, like,
I
you know,
think music. I think music. My father was a musician. He was a bass player,
ah,
and I I sang a little bit. I've been in a band before, and uh, but I don't know. Maybe an instrument, maybe pick up bass or something like that. I
wild.
don't, yeah.
It's so crazy. So many visual artists and musicians, we kind of swap lives, or we want to, like, we always want to be this rock star, or, you know what I mean? It's so close knit. Like, we appreciate each other so much. It's really fascinating to think about that.
Yeah, I'd love to do it just to make stuff to accompany my animations. You know what I mean? Like I want
Yeah,
to make it myself because I've tried to collaborate with a lot of people in the past, which I mean I have. Um,
it's hard.
yeah, but yeah, when it's just like, oh, I just recently I submitted a piece. I was in another Hole in the Head film festival. I had an animation in there, and it started the original concept was I wanted to collaborate with a fellow artist, somebody that did beats, right? Just made
Hmm.
some simple beats. They have these weird, funky contraptions playing on screen that eventually all play in unison to create a like a cohesive piece of trap music. But what ended up happening was I think I went through like three different artists, three different people that were doing the music, and it
Oh,
just flaked or didn't come through. And then guess what? I just made it
I was
myself,
gonna say you
and
made it yourself.
it's not very good, but I love
Stop
it.
it. It's probably dope as hell. You just don't give yourself enough credit.
It's,
Eh,
I mean, it's fun. It was fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Man, I've done that before though, because it's one thing to think in your head that you're making cool music and like you record yourself maybe on your on your voicemail on your like, bitch, what was you thinking? This is horrible. You sound crazy.
That's, that's my favorite part, especially being able to reflect. You're like, oh, I mean, there's a lot of people that need to have that little self analysis, but sometimes you're like, oh.